how's it going, everybody? What's up? Welcome back to another video. Today we have some pretty serious changes that have been made to Tarkov. Some changes that, in my opinion, have been needed for a very long time. Some other changes I'm not really stoked on. I'll get into why later on, but for the most part, a lot of these changes the game has kind of needed for like the last 2 years, and I'm not sure why it's only now they decided to do this. Because one of the major things about EFT that has been massively annoying to, I would say, damn near everybody who plays the game is the 762x39 BP meta. So for those of you that don't know and you're watching this and you haven't been playing Tarkov for the last couple of years, 762x39 BP in a mutant, in an AKM, in whatever gun that it can take, that type of ammo, have been dominating the meta in Tarkov. That has literally been the meta gun for forever. Before that, it was the HK. Before that, it was the M4. Then it was, you know, the mutant and AKMs. And now, after some of these changes, I'm not entirely sure what the next meta is going to be. I don't really know where we're going to see the community kind of moving to. Honestly, it's pretty interesting. So the first thing I'm going to do is, since I've already mentioned that BP is now gone, I'm going to open up the first tweet here. Some of the major changes. So M61 rounds, M995 and PS12B have been completely removed from traders. Now, the thing I was saying earlier about I'm a little bit miffed about is PS12Bs being removed from Propor level 4, because I spent the entire day doing Punisher the other day just to get to Punisher Part 5 to complete that in order to unlock PS12Bs so I could have fun with the new hand cannon. Thankfully, I still have some ammo left over for it, but I'm a little bummed that that round was completely removed from the traders. But I get it. It makes sense because the hand cannon, otherwise known as the RSH, is really overpowered. Like, that gun is exceptionally strong. You can use it to clear any content in the game. You can put high-powered scopes on it. It is an unbelievably strong gun for like 100k. So I guess they decided to remove the best ammo for it from the traders, which is, you know, fair enough, I guess. M61 being removed, this should have been done a long time ago. M995 being removed also should have been done a long time ago as well. These should be craft only or found in raid ammo types. The only thing that I'm hoping is that in high tier loot rooms, maybe on Shoreline, you know, like really expensive keys, or like on labs or on certain raiders, we can start getting that ammo there rather than having to go, you know, randomly find it in caches or randomly find it in ammo boxes. I would like to see the ammo move to high tier loot rooms. So for example, maybe if you go to labs, maybe if you get a red key card, that would be one good way to somehow get yourself some of this ammo. Or even, you know, move some of the ammos into the, like, black key card, green key card, blue key card, whatever, you name it. I would like to see the loot kind of be spread out a little bit more. So instead of going into raids to open up rooms to find rare valuable items, we would be opening rooms to find, well, ammo. Now, I know what a lot of you guys are saying. Oh, why don't you just play woods? There's ammo everywhere on woods. I get that. But I would like to kind of see it more across the board in terms of like balancing the ammo pickups like across, you know, the entirety of the game, rather than just, oh, you have to go to woods, oh, you have to go to reserve. It's kind of like how interchange is at the moment, where like, oh, you want to get food, you go do 2 interchange raids, you're full on food for the next week and you're good to go. So with all that being said, M855A1 has also been removed from Skier. So I think that is the 90 round trade that you could get from Skier. So you could buy X amount of rounds from Peacekeeper and then you could go ahead and buy your 90 rounds from Skier. So those have been removed. I think you can still buy M855A1 from Peacekeeper, so that's fine. You're just going to be able to buy it in a more limited amount every reset. Also, impact grenades have been completely removed from the traders, so you guys are going to have to go loot grenade boxes in order to find impact grenades to get your grenadier quest done. And also 9x21 BT has also been removed from the traders. I did say this the other day. I bet you the 9x21 BT rounds are going to be removed from the traders because of the prevalence of the Varesk now. Although I really don't think it matters that much that BT rounds got removed from the traders for the Varesk, because PS rounds are still insanely strong in it. I would argue that the gun is probably even better than the MP7 unless you're running APSX in the MP7. So these are unbelievably insane changes, and this is only the first part of it. The next part of it is right here. So these are even more changes. We now have an APSX craft, which, as you can see here in the picture, you need a hand drill, you need an elite pliers, you need 120 rounds of subsonic ammo, 4 green gunpowders, 4 red gunpowders, and 4 weapon parts to make yourself 120 rounds of APSX. And this takes 20 hours, so very similar to the Ash 12 ammo craft for the PS12Bs. These crafts are going to take absolutely forever, and I kind of hate that the crafts take so long, but whatever, maybe it'll get balanced out at some point. Maybe there'll be ways we can speed it up in the future. So that is the APSX craft, which has now been added to the workbench. I would assume level 3. Then we've got M80, M62, 45 ACP, AP have been moved to Peacekeeper level 4. So you can still buy M80s and M62s and AP 45 ACP, but it's now at Peacekeeper level 4. Rather than, I think M80s were level 2 Peacekeeper, M62s were level 3 Peacekeeper, and then 45 ACP AP was level 2 or level 3. I don't really remember. I don't really use that ammo very much, but it was either level 2 or 3, and it's now all been moved to level 4. The Voodoo and the Vortex Razor have also been entirely removed from the traders. So I kind of hate this, because all this is going to do is massively drive up the price of the Razor, which is my favorite scope, and it's also going to massively drive up the price of the Voodoo. But I guess they're two of the absolute most used scopes in the game, which is fine. But I mean, it's just kind of weird to me that like one of the gunsmith, like the really end game gunsmith quests, I think locks the Valde scope, which isn't even really a good scope anymore. I would much rather have seen this kind of be the reverse, to where the Razor and the Voodoo were locked behind some really high level quests and you could still buy them from the traders, and leave the Valde on the traders, because the Valde isn't really that great of a scope if you're using anything fully automatic. The gun just, like, the way the scope moves, it just makes it impossible to see anything. So I don't really like this change. I would rather have this been done a different way. They're locked behind high level quests, and then kind of swap that with the Valde. Maybe swap it with like the Elcan or the TAC 30. And speaking of the TAC 30, the TAC 30 is now a Kvass barter now. So Kvass currently on the flea market is probably going to be worth 30-40k a bottle. So you guys can now probably make a lot of money by just collecting bottles of Kvass. So that's cool. That's another money maker. And here it is, the main thing. 762x39 BP has been entirely removed from traders. So this is good, because I'm kind of sick of this ammo being the meta, and all everybody was going to do is run the same bullshit every single raid again, since this was up until now purchasable from the trader. So I'm glad that this meta is finally over. But that's not all. So we also have 3 ammo types that have also been banned from the flea market. 12.7 by 55mm PS12B you can no longer buy on the flea market. Not that you ever would. I bought some the other day. They were 6,000 rubles around. Dumbest thing I've ever bought on the flea market, but the most fun I've had in Tarkov in quite a while. 762x51 M80 is now also banned on the flea market, so we're going to see much less availability of M80 ammo on the in the game, just entirely. So when you kill that guy with an RFB, you might want to check those mags, check and see if he's got M80s, and scavenge that and put it in your container, because it's going to be much harder to find in the future. And also banned 9x21 BT rounds. I don't think I've ever even looked up this ammo on the flea market. I just assumed it wasn't available on there, but I guess it was. So now this has been also banned on the flea, I'm assuming to kind of stave down the use of the Varesk. Those are all of the changes that happened today. So as you can see, pretty substantial list of things have changed. Now, I know some players who maybe don't play too much, or maybe people who haven't really played in a couple of wipes, are looking at these changes and going, these are kind of stupid. Why did they do this? This makes no sense. For the most part, most of this makes a lot of sense to me, except the scope thing. I don't really like the scope thing. I don't really understand the point of it, because you can still buy them from the flea market, which is usually where you buy them anyway, because you can generally get them cheaper on the flea market than you could from the traders. So all that's going to do now is raise the price of the Voodoo and the Razor on the flea market even higher. The reason why they're doing these changes is because the meta has been the exact same. Like, nothing has changed about what ammo people run and the weapons that people use. So hopefully this kind of makes a little bit of a shift, sort of pushes people to try different things. Maybe we'll start seeing SMGs being used a little bit more prevalently. Maybe shotguns will come back into meta now the flechette is still available after you get that one quest completed. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. But overall, I think these are some really good changes to the game. Somebody in my chat keeps mentioning leg meta. Maybe leg meta will come back. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I, for one, am not really looking forward to that. But, you know, it's just the way it is. So here it is, lads. Those are the changes. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, you made it this far, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that other good stuff. And lads, I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out, my dudes.